Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
Let's talk golf. 7 minutes after 10 o'clock. Jim Beckett is in the studio. And let me do it properly. James R. Beckett is in the studio. He is a golf professional and the founder of the Golf College at the Links of Spruce Creek South. And he's here to answer your questions that you might have about golf, whether you are like me and you're not even an amateur. You're like below that. Or maybe you are Arnold Palmer himself. Is he still alive?
Yes.
He's still around, right? He's still around. Okay, I just didn't want to say something that was going to be out of bad taste. Jim Beckett is here to answer your questions. If you do have a question, or just want to join in another conversation, it doesn't have to be a question. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, which is 622-WOCA. If you're out of the area, and I do see a few people looking online, then 352 is the area code, 352-622-9622. The other day we had a call from New York, I think it was. Anyway, go on, Jim. How you doing?
Good morning. It's a great morning.
It took
the only thing wrong with this morning is you and I are in here and we're not playing golf.
Oh, I thought you wanted to go down and see Paul Ryan, no? You have no interest in that?
I had difficulty getting here because of Paul Ryan. There's a very good chance I wouldn't have made it.
What happened? You came by way of the blockade?
Well, I came through 3 or 4 blockades, and nobody cared that I was coming to the radio station to maybe help golfers enjoy their game.
Did you try to talk them into letting you through?
I told him, I said, it's obviously you don't know who I am.
And were they wearing like dark glasses and were they Secret Service guys?
It's amazing. Sometimes, when you have a so-called celebrity, whatever that means, the police take on another level of Gestapo. Hello, we're all here trying to get our day done.
Well, you know what? They're not out there for 99% of us. They're out there for that one kook.
Yep.
There's that one kook that'll show up. All of that is because you got one kook somewhere.
That's for sure.
Or maybe 2. You never know.
Our society is very strange at today's level.
Yeah. And that's why. But they don't show up on the golf course, right? Do kooks show up on the golf course?
We in recent years have started getting more people who wouldn't fall into a golfer profile. It becomes a activity to get out and hit something hard, and they're not very well. They don't take time to do what you did. You took time to try to find out what was the protocol and what have you for golf, and it's there for free. That's what the PGA professional is supposed to do: help golfers enjoy their golf game.
Right.
So they're not going to go out and attack you with that stuff, but they're there and they will answer your question. I've never met one that wouldn't be accommodating if a golfer asks for some help.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I don't mean a lesson, but I mean some help with whatever it is that
whatever it is you're doing. Yeah,
they don't understand.
Well, I kind of compare it to a board game. Yeah. You keep the board game in the closet. Nobody ever says, I'm an expert at that game. Well, you might have 1 or 2. But usually you pull it down for one simple reason, to be with your friends.
Absolutely.
And that's what golf is. It's better than a board game. The board is the course.
Yeah, in our economic world, and especially here, I've noticed more than anywhere I've ever lived, if you look in the newspaper, they just keep trying to lower the price to get more volume.
Of what? The game of golf?
Golfers,
Oh, really?
In other words, if you have a course that's, let's say it's a $40 greens fee in the wintertime because it's a quality golf course, and you lower your fee to $20 to get summer play because it's warmer in the afternoon,
right,
and you increase your volume by twice, you've got twice the amount of wear and tear on the golf course and half as much money coming in.
Yeah. I know. I use that same logic when I'm trying to find something enjoyable to do. If it's like a $50 thing, I'll say let's except for Disney. Disney is the exception because people will pay $90 and it's still packed.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
But sometimes you say, okay, it's $50 for this activity. Why don't we do that? Because that means it's going to be not so many people. A lot of people don't want to pay $50. So.
Correct.
But Disney, they will. They will drop it for there.
We probably have the best. We probably in the local 3 or 4 counties in this area. We probably have the most quality golf courses for the most economical price of anywhere I've ever been.
Yeah.
It's
now,
amazing.
And as bringing up Disney, Disney has a few of their own that are considered pretty prestigious, don't they?
Disney, when they first started, had 2 courses. They quickly built the 3rd one. And now they must have 7 or 8.
Really?
I don't even know how many.
Do they live up to the expectations of somebody who?
Well, they're
the other work of Disney.
They're Disney courses. Basically, they're wide fairways. They're very white sand in their sand traps to get the aesthetics.
Oh, really?
The greens are fairly big on most of the courses. Maybe some of the new ones are more competitive. But they're designed to get people around the golf course and have a pretty experience. I call them plastic courses. They're very unentertaining for me.
Oh, you don't like them? You don't like them?
Well, they're not golf courses. They're places for you to go whack a golf ball and find it and hit it again. I'm old school.
Interesting.
I learned on real golf courses. So the golf course is supposed to be a place to get some serenity, some quiet time.
Right.
You can make it as competitive as you want to with the partners you're playing with against them, their scores.
Right.
You can play by yourself and play against par. But an awful lot of people play, and they're so worried about the score and not the experience, and strike the ball and have fun. Like I know when you hit a good shot, it was a real triumph.
Cool feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something. I'm in the school of people who really don't care about the score. But is that sometimes not the person that somebody who does care about the score wants to play with? I would think that person wants to play with another competitive person. I might not be the person they want to play against.
You're correct. It's very segregated.
They want somebody who's going to be just like them as well. That's okay.
And that's okay for them.
Yeah.
The students I have students that are beginners. I have students that are single-digit handicappers, and that means that they're in the low 10% of all golfers, or 5%. And I suggest to every one of them, and sometimes they don't believe it, I never, ever keep score by putting numbers down unless I'm in a competitive event where I've got to turn it in for competition. I write down how many solid shots do I hit, how many good shots did I hit, which clubs did I not do as well with, so I'll know where I really should practice if I choose to practice. In other words, so I get better by getting that experience, and I get fun and entertainment and enjoyment out of the round.
Which is what it's all about, right?
Well, it is for me. That's why I'm in the business, I guess.
This may be a question I've already asked you, but how do you calculate the handicap?
Handicap is basically, there's a little more detail to it, but basically, if you and I were going to play, and I'm shooting on an average of 80, and par is 72, I'm averaging 8 over par. Well, I get 96% of that. I don't get 100%. So I'm going to be a 7 handicapper.
Really? So even you get a handicap? So my number must be way up there.
There's very few people that don't that shoot actual scratch golf. 10 years ago, all the pro players didn't all shoot under par every round.
Really?
No,
but now they do?
But on TV, we see the ones who are playing the best of the group that's playing.
Right,
so they make a cut. Half of them aren't there after Thursday and Friday.
True.
So let's say you're averaging 100. So you're shooting 28 over par.
Okay.
So
my handicap would be?
About 26 or so.
Really?
So then, or let's say it was 27. So I'd have to give you 7. We subtract my 7 from you, so you'd get 20 shots. So on every hole you get a shot more than me, plus on 2 holes you get 2 shots more than me.
Oh, really?
And that's so that different skill levels can play and have some chance of playing competitive.
So I could beat you, but I really wouldn't beat you.
No, you really would beat me because that's the fair way to do it. The other thing would be is what tee do we play, and that's something that's never been done properly, possibly because of the way the course is made. If you can hit the ball 180 yards and I can hit the ball 230, then you should get that advantage when we start, so that we start even. So you'd play a tee.
But now, when we went to the course at Spruce Creek South, and I guess this is true for all of them, the ladies' tee is a little closer, right?
Okay.
To the ball?
I'm glad you said that. We've Americanized a lot of terms that are not true in real golf.
Okay, what did I say
wrong? There is
wrong?
no such thing as a ladies' tee or a men's tee.
Well, what do they have down there?
We have the front tee,
Oh.
the middle tee, and the back tee.
Okay. Well,
so normally they say the pro or the skilled handicapper plays the back tee.
Okay.
The men's tee is the middle tee, and the ladies is the front tee. But every good lady I've ever taught that can strike the ball well doesn't play the ladies' tee. They move back to the white tee because the course is too short for them. But we have many seniors in our area that want to play the back tee, and they have a hard time hitting it to the ladies' tee. But it's a macho thing.
Why is it called the white tee? Aren't they all white?
No, the tees are the basic standardization is a red tee, a white tee, and a blue tee.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like a traffic light.
Red, white, and blue?
We've now, for many courses, come up with a senior tee because we can't get the men to play forward.
All right, we do have a phone call, Jim. Let's go to the phone.
They're probably going to get me.
They're going to ask you something.
Yeah.
Jim Beckett is here. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Yeah, good morning, Jim.
Good morning, sir.
Are the cup sizes, the diameters, the same in Europe as they are here?
Yes, sir. It's 4 1/4 inches, and that's been the standard for, I guess, forever. I don't know. They've never changed, but there was a difference in the ball size.
Okay, is there still a difference?
No, sir. They eliminated that, and the reason they had that smaller ball in Europe is they had, on average, more wind than we have on average here. Okay. So the ball would bore through the air. So Americans would, of course, want to use that ball because actually it made it a little easier to get the putt into the hole with the ball being smaller.
Okay.
But the ball would also travel further because of less resistance.
Yeah.
So if a machine had a small ball, the same as the standard size ball, it would go maybe 10, 15 yards further.
Yeah. Are there any difference between here and over there?
You mean as far as the ball?
Well, as far as anything, as far as the play goes.
Not anymore. The RNA and the USGA decided to make world standardization, and so they get together anytime they're going to talk about making changes in the club restrictions of all and what have you.
Okay. Is there any rules saying you can't use a colored ball?
No, sir.
You can if you want to.
You absolutely can.
How come you never see it used?
Yellow ball became very prevalent at one time, and we still have other colors now. We have the pink ball because of the breast cancer thing.
Right.
I kind of like the pink myself, and I play with one.
Yeah.
That aggravates the macho guys, but that's okay. But they have blue. They have a variety of sizes. I think it's one of those things where if we play in an area where we have the fall leaves,
okay,
the colored ball is extremely difficult to find.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if we're playing the snow golf in Stowe, Vermont, like I used to be there for 14 years, then they use a colored ball to try to find it.
Oh, really?
No, there's no limitation on that at all.
Okay, and as far as the Pro Tour, is there an age limit as far as young and old?
There is an age limit as far as I think, and don't quote me, I can find this out for you, or we can get on Google or something. But I know the ladies run into that. More young women,
yeah,
like Michelle Wee and some of them. Like there's a gal out there now that wanted to join the tour, and she's 14. And there was an Asian girl, I believe, 13, that won a tournament.
Wow, wow.
So they can play, but I think they have a limit before they can actually join the LPG. And the men's age, I really am not sure of, and they don't seem to encounter that as often because they have more things they can play in.
Right, right. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You bet. Bye now.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, and that's what this show is about. If you want to call in, you are welcome to. It can be just a chat. That was an interesting question about the colors. I didn't think there would be even a reason for different colors other than preference or something.
Originally, it was sort of like white tennis balls and yellow tennis ball. They said you could see the ball better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yellow was very prevalent for a while. Many driving ranges will use a yellow ball because if you use a white ball and it's in good shape, unfortunately, people will put a few in their pocket and keep that for the water holes on the golf course.
Oh, really?
So the cost goes up. People say, why do you charge so much for golf balls? You charge based on cost.
Yeah. The idea of marking the ball so that you know that it's yours.
Now you got it. all the golf balls will have the company name on it, and they'll have a number, normally 1 through 4. Golf balls actually have numbers 1 through 8, but you seldom see it because people don't like those big numbers. But many golf pros play with a large number or put their initials on the ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But if you're buying just a regular package of balls and you're buying a popular brand, your foursome could all be playing the same ball. So you normally on the first tee say, "Oh, I've got a whatever ball, Schlesinger 2."
Right.
You know, and other ones say, "Well, I've got a 2 also." So they normally would change that, because if both of you hit over a hill and one goes in the water and one goes close to the water, guess where both people go?
Yeah,
to the one out of the water. So if you're playing competitive, you need to be able to identify your ball. So you put a magic marker and put 1 dot on it, or write your initial on it, or circle the number or something so that you can say, "That's my ball for sure." And you also, on the first tee, you show that to your fellow players.
Now, getting back to the distance of the hole to the tee and the different, the red, white, and blue ones or something.
Yeah.
It didn't, when I was at the golf course, it didn't seem, and I thought it was a ladies' tee. It didn't seem like it was.
Well, it is. It is.
Oh, down there it is.
It's for all intents and purposes. I'm just telling you what it is from a designer standpoint and for correctness, but it's not referred to that as a ladies' tee in Europe. They are a lot better golfers than we are.
They are.
Yeah, we play I'd say 99% of all golfers here move the ball onto a better lie each time they strike the ball.
Onto a better lie?
Well, if they want to puff it up on a little thicker piece of grass.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that's not.
I know what you meant by lie.
Once you tee off, if you're playing real golf, you play the ball as it lay. And we just don't do that.
But do they take it more serious in Europe?
They play real golf, what I call it, and we play recreational golf.
Have you gone there and played Europe?
I've played once in Europe.
Now, would it be Ireland? Scotland. Scotland is where it started, right?
Scotland's the home of golf. St. Andrews.
Have you played at, like, the motherland of golf?
St. Andrews right now, if we had a lot of money and we were wanting to play next year, we'd start working on trying to get a tee time now, and it still would be by lottery. That's how many people want to play.
Really?
Yeah.
It became that popular.
It's hard to get on that course.
But you've done it?
No.
Oh, you have not done it? Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I'm not going to. It's just a golf course, you know.
Well, yeah, but so is Disney, and you didn't like that?
Well, Disney was designed specifically to accommodate the kind of clientele they have. And that's what you do when you build a golf course. Who are you building it for? You're building it for competition.
That's true.
You're building it for the general public. You're building it for seniors. You're building it because you have more female and male. I mean, if you're building it to make money, you want to accommodate the clientele you're seeking to address.
This may be a way out of left field question, but I'm just curious because you've done this a lot. Every now and then you will hear about a program that is designed to be therapeutic for, like, a wayward youth, somebody who's a kid who's just heading in the wrong direction, and people step in and try to fix it. And so you'll hear, like, a camping trip. You say, well, how does that help somebody? Or, or building a house for Habitat for Humanity. You say, well, how does that actually help? You can sort of understand it, but you're not really sure. Does golf ever come into play? Because here's why I think it might. Because if you're going to be like the stand-in surrogate father, the big brother, or whatever, I mean, that's a good opportunity to talk, to instill maybe certain rules and abiding by those rules and that kind of thing. Do you see people on the course who are actually trying to straighten out a wayward youth?
The PGA has a very strong program and a lot of support and sponsors from a variety of places called the First Tee. It was originally initiated for areas where golf courses weren't in close proximity, so it was in larger cities and the youth that were on the streets for whatever reason.
Right.
And it's since expanded past that. We now have a program called Golf Get Ready to do that. Most golf courses now, or the majority of the golf courses who are proactive, will have something. For an example, our course, if you come with an adult and you play afternoon, you play for free. To generate what? New business.
Yeah.
That's the future of the game. The future of anything is kids.
Right.
If it's
but I mean, there's just something about the game itself Now, no offense against basketball, but you can play basketball in just your shorts.
Right.
But golf, you're expected to dress to look nice. You're expected to not curse. You're expected to kind of behave. And at the same time, there's clearly, I guess, together time. I can't think of a better way to say it. With somebody else.
It's, I think it's as good a youth program as you can get them into because of the things you mentioned. There is some courtesy, there is some guidelines, there is some appropriate way to conduct yourself while you're on the course. Most kids that get introduced into it, and what the programs have now is they normally will be able to get those kids clubs at no cost. And you have many people donate their old set when they buy a new set. I have literally hundreds of clubs right now.
What kind of a kid were you? Were you
I was a kid who had some, at the time you don't know this, of course, I seemed to have some natural ability to play sports, an instinct for it. When you're a kid, you think that's the same, everybody feels the same, you don't know
You
that.
think so, right, yeah. Well, I was the kid who didn't have any of that.
I guess my forte was baseball. I could hit the ball, and I could not understand why other people couldn't, because the ball was right in front of you. How can you miss?
Well, I was the kid you couldn't figure out. Yeah.
And my dad actually made a piece of cardboard, the width of the plate.
Yeah.
And then we made it the height of my strike zone.
Okay.
And he held it up in front of me, and he said, "Son, when the ball's in this rectangle, you hit it. When it's not there, you don't swing." So I thought, okay, no big deal. So that's how simple my mind was.
Yeah, sure.
So when the ball was in front of me, I hit it. And I never struck out for the first 4 years I played baseball, ever. I couldn't believe, how could you swing 3 times and miss the ball? It's impossible.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
That's what my brain thought.
Yeah, yeah.
As an adult, if you'll talk to adults like kids, and kids like adults, you communicate better. Kids don't have a lot of mental baggage.
Yeah.
They think they can. If a kid sees someone at a driving range hit a golf ball and it's sitting still on the tee, and they look at it and say, "Boy, that'd be fun to do." So they go out, and if they miss, they're astonished, but they expect to hit it. If you take the adult out, they wish to hit it, but they're prepared to miss. They're not surprised.
I see.
So it's a mental thing, a whole lot of it. It's a great way to try to get a very young youth to utilize that positive thought in their other endeavors in life.
And boy, that's very wise. And I think, okay, my side of the tracks, I was more interested in music. I couldn't understand why other people couldn't play a keyboard, okay, because that came sort of natural. So it would have been good for me to force myself to be in your world, and maybe for you to have been in mine a little bit.
Absolutely. I could play roughly most any musical instrument until I got instruction.
Oh, well, that means you're natural.
And, well, I just sort of kind of figure it out. But then when I got that regimentation, I guess I've always been a renegade, and that's also what happened to me in golf. I could hit a golf ball after I watched intently the best players who could hit best.
And that's an interesting thing to say, too, because I've noticed two types of sports people. The sports people who treat sport like an art. That's the best way I can say it. And those who treat it like a science.
Perfect.
Those people who treat it like a science, how many of you have observed the same thing? Those people who treat it like a science are also interested in politics.
Probably.
Those people who treat it like an art aren't really that interested in politics. They're more interested in the arts.
Yeah, those people are also more focused on positive productivity of any kind, be it a business or a product or what.
Sometimes the conversation gets interesting right at the end, doesn't it?
Are we at the end already?
We're at the end, yeah. And this is my favorite part right here. I guess I got to crank up your music. Let me see. It's over here somewhere. Jim, always good to have you in here. I love the conversations. It's easier, by the way, in person than on the phone.
Absolutely.
That phone you got down there wasn't.
Our phones.
That was terrible.
Are from 1820.
How do we get a hold of you? Do you want to give out numbers and all that?
If you try to get a hold of me personally, my cell phone is 352 470-3876, and if I don't answer it, I will call you back.
All right, Jim Beckett, always good to see you. And whenever there's an update on the golf college, you will let us know.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon. Okay. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Very good, sir.
All right. We will take a little break and be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. It'll be partly sunny today and warm this afternoon with a high of 84 to 88. Partly cloudy tonight.